Hello and welcome back. This is the topical discussion, a segment of the Morning Breeze. My name is Simon Kagwanjala.
And I'm Doreen Kopa.
And well, it's the 20th day of February 2013. This morning, we seek your views on how best the behavior or the trend of absenteeism in Parliament can be curbed. We're drawing our topic from a very touching picture of a session, or rather plenary, that had maybe quarter of our MPs.
Is that quarter?
It's even less than
It's
quarter.
even quarter.
Yeah?
It's even less than quarter. I mean, look at all the empty seats.
You know, with a very interesting caption, House in limbo, members of Parliament keep out from plenary session. Yeah? So we're seeing a possibility of misrepresentation, and maybe sometimes some of the key critical bills failing to see the light of day at the end of the day.
Now I think it's taking another trend. Initially, it would be maybe the opposition boycotting
Certain sessions,
Yes, certain
yes.
sessions. But now we're all seeing both sides boycotting sessions.
And you know what's very interesting? According to the caption, members of Parliament, about 124, had signed.
But where were they?
Yeah, after signing the registration book, they went to attend to their personal businesses.
Yes, and of course,
is it time we engaged in roll calling these MPs?
And
what should be done?
One approach, they will tell you that they were doing their businesses in their constituencies, but then they say no time to do certain things at certain times, you know, and on certain days.
So how do we address the issue of absenteeism in Parliament?
And besides,
these are elected legislators. They're supposed to be doing their work 24 hours.
So should we even hold them accountable? Because at the end of the day, they have to represent their people. But if they don't,
and what could be the cause of this? Yeah, what could be the cause of this habit of absenteeism? Yeah, are they tired? You know, fatigue also comes in at a time when you go, you discuss, you bring up motions, and nothing is done.
Yeah.
Is this a sign of fatigue?
And does it also explain all the pending bills that have not been passed?
Could it be a cause of having poor legislators? Yeah, unqualified legislators.
It also takes me back to the number of MPs we have in Parliament. Do we require such a big number?
Such a big number, some of them napping away, and you can imagine these are countable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Out of 370 MPs, we can only see 21 MPs attending plenary.
And
what does this mean?
And what does it say about the MPs who attended plenary?
Should they be rewarded? So, big questions. We're seeking your views. How best can we curb this trend of absenteeism in Parliament? And is the Speaker giving it casual treatment? Because by now the Speaker should actually be incensed by this kind of attendance.
And one would be wondering, was the Speaker alerted by such a big number of absenteeism in Parliament?
Alarming.
Yeah, in the
really
plenary
alarming.
session.
The numbers to call 0312-265-321
and 0312-265-322. And we're all asking what is causing this trend and what can be done to reverse it.
You can join us. You can also join us on Facebook.
That's Morning Breeze at 10 BSOG. Do remember to be a part of us via internet or Newsstream by simply logging on to www.nbs.gg/live. That you're able to be a part of us.
All right, let's take our first caller now. Hello, good morning. Hello.
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 Yes, good morning.
Morning to you, plus my good sister Dolly.
Good morning.
Welcome back from Masaka. How was it?
Masaka, you can't believe even. It was very upset. But I think I will explain to you. And
anyway, Segirinya, today kumulamwa.
This is none other than Segirinya Mamadi, former MP contestant campaign north. Nyala kutegeza Simon Njala Kabwa. Asokri nebaza na Masaka mwenna.
Nsaba tudde ku mulamwa.
Naye ngeze ku mulamwa Simon. Nyala okutegeeza ti nebaza mukyali Beka Kadaga. Yasobodde okubeera nga atandika okubeera nga ayita babaka kitabaddeewo ekyo kisulaga nti waliwo trade etandika okubeera ng'ekolebwa mu lukiiko lw'eggwanga olukulu okutulaga nti omubaka wa bundi waali era zo wange ndoza wakirabe kiyabaddewo muganda wange naye nga Simon embeerera zino ezasajja evudde ku ki olwaleero ababaka abasinga obubaka ba parliament balinga ababufuula omulimu kize namala okufuna omulimu gwange oba ngenze oba sigenze omusaala gwange ogwa miliyoni 2 nja kusangako akawunti osobola eyo apusentism eteresa okubeerawo ababaka bandibaddenga basasulwa ne bagenze mu lukiiko lw'eggwanga olukulu batagenze eyo tasasulwa ngera zino ssente ez'omusaala teziriiwo naye ndalama ziwoba nti oba agenze oba tagenze omusaala gwe ojja kugufuna ekyokubiri Simon abaka abo era bamala bakomawo eno muffe bantu namanya ati akalulu ntuba nali nesimbyewo nakateeka mu butesi ssente nenkawangula oba tugendayo kakati kannindeera wonafuna ssente n'abawo abalonzi bananyumbira ekyo kirabikidde nnyo naddala mu biseera ebya kampeyini omulonzi ne balya ssente naye ku omuntu gotteyo mu paliamenti wa kibogwe lwekikuba leero byonna omukyala Rebecca Kadaga tukusaba genda maaso n'okusoma lijetezo nga bwe twabikolanga amasomero tetujja kumanya otinapanishinga ababaka baffe kubanga tujja kumanya nti ensonga ezituluma eno bitundu byaffe otunyigiriza bwakuba tuli represented mu paliamenti omubaka abeera mu bibye
kale webale nnyo webalirira. We go for another caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Simon. Good morning.
Good morning. You're live on the Morning Breeze. Thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm fine.
Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm called Teofred. I'm calling from Chevando.
Yes, Chitio.
Ekisooka mbyonna mbeera mu kitundu kusanga mbeera mu Chevando eva security atasobola kweta nnyo.
Wanje?
Hello. Hello. All right, sorry, we lost you. You will try to call back on 0312265321 and 0312265322. We take another caller. Hello.
Hello. Well, we're seeking your views on how best the habit or the trend of absenteeism in Parliament can be checked, can be really fought, because we're looking at a house that's dwindling. The numbers keep dwindling. It's only on critical issues, like when there is a huge debate,
that
where you see parties mobilizing. That's when we see a huge turn-up.
And Simon, you also realize that, well, it's like we said, that it's taking a very different trend, because, well, sometimes when you get to listen to the MPs explaining the reasons behind them being absent from certain sessions in Parliament, they'll give you their reasons. But at the end of the day, we need such reasons.
Yeah, true. If a member of Parliament is not going to attend plenary, I think for some time, he or she is meant to notify the Speaker well in advance, and it's at this discretion of the Speaker to let him or her out. Some of them go on official duties, some of them travel abroad, but I think we also need the involvement of civil society organizations, political parties, and the electorate to check these people, to evaluate them regularly, because, you know, with time they become complacent. After all, there's no one who is going to check them.
So should we conclude that there is some bit of indiscipline among our parliamentarians?
This is utter indiscipline. You can't have 21 MPs in a house where you're supposed to have 370. This is ridiculous. So this also tells you there is laxity somewhere. There is a missing link.
Again, it takes us back to the characters of our MPs. We're always seeking to check their characters.
And you know, tomorrow, if it's a matter of discussing their salary, they will all be up in arms, you know, coming out to defend their emoluments. But at the same time, what does this mean? This means that the electorate are going to miss out on key bills. Key bills are not likely to make it through. And two, this is misrepresentation. We elect them to represent us.
How are we going to have certain bills passed if you do not even attend certain sessions in Parliament? And of course, come 2016, should there people hold them accountable? Precisely.
Yeah. Hold it against this, you know. I think the electorate should be awakened by this. Chino chibinyo, something ought to be done. Well, we take more of your calls. Hello, good morning. Kali mnafani ono?
Girwa makanika watu
Yes, sir.
So grada waka bapre makasi msoshabuli muntamu champolo ngabo maniti koreze moroke mpira bade tumalonga abamu nokwogera tubogera ddala wajibabeera yo nola bantu asituka baddawa dojinga kumugamba nti buli bikoyoyogera naye kyensaba ababaka baffe nga bwe ndaga ono.
Sorry, we lost you. Please call back. Hello, good morning.
Hello? Hello?
But anyway, is the absenteeism among MPs a problem?
Yes, it is a problem.
Yeah,
Hello?
I would ask. Hello, good morning. Nafe mnafe.
nze Masindi
Yes, waliwa.
nansana ensano zandibadde ssatu ensookera dda.
All right, and Simon, you know, sometimes let's also look at certain sessions where we have those really pertinent issues to be discussed in Parliament, and we have some MPs intentionally or deliberately shying away from boycotting these debates, normally because of their conflicts of interest.
Well, that would be okay for contentious sessions, yeah.
No, I think
because
Simon,
you know, but regular attendance in Parliament.
Yeah, but Simon,
why don't we register good numbers?
Yeah, and besides, Simon, when you say that would be understandable, then why would we have some MPs?
No, because sometimes abstaining is a trick. Abstaining is one of the tricks
because
used
tomorrow you don't want to be
to fail some legislation.
Yeah, because tomorrow you don't want to be held accountable for what you did.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, that's what we need. We need them to present us. We need them to give us that.
Yeah, but if you can't measure enough numbers, yeah, for certain legislation to take place, so the best way out is for you to maybe cover.
No, it's out
but
of.
We're looking at regular
Yes,
proceedings,
and it's out
regular
of
plenary.
It's out of ignoring such small boycotts that we are now seeing big numbers boycotting the.
So it's a spillover.
Yeah, it's a spillover.
So we ask, what can be done to check the trend as more MPs abstain or keep away from House proceedings? Look at a House where you're supposed to have 370 MPs and it's only 22 MPs
In the
who
House.
turned up.
And the question
Isn't
would
this
also
worrying?
be, is the Speaker alarmed by this? And what does she intend to do about such?
Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
This is still Fred again.
Yes.
Yes.
Simanyi naye kati Madam Doreen kuwandisuubidde ki nga tunaba MPs nga kyamati gye bakwatibwa ekiro nga bali mu kulwana ne poliisi parliamentary ezoola oziri wabweru mumutulaga ku mawezi kati anaafulabye akadde okugera kutuula mu palamenti afune kyakolayo.
Okay.
Okay.
Genda MPs be tulina bonna enaku omwaka guno oba gundi eno tamenerewo
So,
abasinga balinga oba amusole tuse balinga abayo beetaaga okugenda kwebutabika oba baddemu basomesebwe gutyo abamu tebamanyi ku nsija za palamenti n'olwo omusajja nga Ssegirinnya ava kwogera waawo oyo enkere bamulona mu palamenti asaana kwogera bintu bitegerekeka.
okay.
All right,
So
so
what about
so,
Why?
but Simon, I think that's regardless of the rest, his contribution. I think there is a point in what he said. Personality, character. Are our MPs,
Did we appoint self-seekers?
No, and besides that, Simon, are our MPs even aware of the reasons as to why they get into Parliament?
No, I think primarily most of them get into Parliament for cash.
Yes, and because
That's why they're very quick and outspoken on their emoluments.
and the electorate, what have you done about this? Because at the end of
How
the day,
best can we hold them
decision.
accountable? Waibale John Maynard brings in a very interesting view. Increase their sitting allowances and all will be good. Yeah. Sebuma Ivan, if they had told them to come for salary, they would jam the parliamentary corridors. But for legislation, they do not care. Abasajja nabo bakowa. Yeah, but do most MPs know what they are legislating about?
That's it.
Yeah, because most of them are elected because they'll go to the House and contribute numbers. Yeah, theirs is numbers.
I don't know what it was. Some talk show. I think I was listening into one of the radio stations, and one of the guests they had in studio say that maybe we should go beyond simply having a senior 6 certificate.
Yeah,
for one to qualify.
the bar should be raised.
The bar should be raised. Maybe that's also going to improve on the quality of MPs we have in the House.
So that darky tighten monitoring and penalty of not attending. Also, the attendance list should be signed when 3/4 of the session is done. Because you imagine, they signed the registers and then left.
Yeah, but Simon, I don't want.
I think this is thuggery.
Yeah, but I don't want to only keep that on the MP, Simon. I think it's a disease among his public
That should be
servants.
checked.
Yeah, it's something that should be checked, I believe. Now, given Alex says there should be a penalty for that, Or Samuel says, but how do you trust leaders who have history of rising into political fame by first being a strike leader, where Ugandans as a whole do not have a vision? We need true leaders, not job opportunists. Captain Steve says, members know that they hold no power, since nothing can be decided by them against above wish. Now, Simon, I believe a captain has a point here. You know, we've also seen at times when we've seen the legislators sit, discuss issues, and at the end of the day, they outbushed.
Yeah, true.
Now, have they lost hope in this? And are they like...
and you know, maybe the past experiences have kind of disappointed them. Yeah, this could be a sign. Or maybe our MPs need reorientation.
Debating on bills.
There could be fatigue, you know, debating issues and nothing is done. At the end of the day, you're like, after all, I'm going to bag my salary at the end of the day. So
yeah,
why the fuss? Why bother?
Why get into parliament, discuss, you know, debate on bills and, you know, have them not pass at the
And
end?
and maybe some of them have failed to meet their expectations. They thought they would get into a vibrant session, a vibrant parliament. Because the 9th parliament started off with a lot of heat, with a lot of vigor, but along the way, it's fading.
I think we should also be
away.
wondering, why is the 9th parliament losing the hype it started with?
Yeah, Harold Kaija, the problem is that most of the current breed of MPs are business persons. You'll always see them on the plane for business trips. I know most of them came to parliament to get diplomatic passport, and they only come to parliament to sign. Tracy, start roll calling, Swipe Bonde, they should be replaced. Kauda Dorin, some MPs lack what to talk and they're not sure of their English, so replacement can work out. Chiganda, Martin, that's a sign of no love for what they were elected for. So they're busy on their side programs, abandoning their role. It's all about having priorities. Let the disciplinary committee do its work. Greetings to Uganda from Martin Ottawa in Canada. Now, that's a very interesting one. I think this should be a disciplinary matter. Why do MPs abscond from sessions when they're most needed? Yeah, because this is a time, there's a lot of, there are several bills pending. One, there's a lot of business to be discussed in Parliament. And why do they choose to abscond? Because, I mean, maybe the penalty is light or none at all.
So it should be checked as well.
The speaker ought to stamp her authority at such a moment.
And you know, and the question would also be, if you know what took you in Parliament, do you really have to wait for a certain penalty to be imposed on you to do what really took you there?
All right, seeking your views on how best we can curb the practice of absenteeism among MPs in Parliament. The numbers to call 0312265321
and 0312265322. Facebook, we've already posted, and it's Morning Breeze at 10 BSOG. SMS is 8009.
Good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Yeah,
Ani ono munafi.
Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Amidi Mukuluma.
Yes, sir.
Kati ensonga gyogeddeko ekikulu ekirimu bekyendabye yobemba parliament tebawukana ku bannayuganda balala abafuna misaala. Abantu abagenda mu parliament oluvannyuma lw'okufuna amabanja agatali gamu ge bayiseemu agava mu ggulu era bangi baatuka mu parliament banks zibanoonya olw'amabanja amanyi ge bakola ki ge balina. Abantu abo bonna era kyolina okutegeera nti banga balina okubeerawo n'okumaintainira constituencies zaabwe beesanga nga bafulumye okunoonya ssente. Jjukira ssente ze bafuna mu musaala zigenda kusasula mabanja gali amanene. Omu yafuna mabanja kusasula bills zaabwe, nga yafuna bbanja kusobola kufuna kayumba kabanja abato abayingira mu parliament.
Okay. So, the big question now is, how can we boost the attendance of our legislators in Parliament? Yeah, because you know what's very strange and what's very funny it's not that all of them keep away or go for personal businesses. You find some of them loitering around the corridors.
Yeah, but
They are in the lobby.
But
Some of them are out chatting with drivers.
But-
Others are in the canteen. Others are on phones. You
one
know.
approach, they will tell you that they were in their constituencies doing constituency work.
So that means that even constituents can easily be duped to believe that actually our MP is in the house. And when he's not in the house, when you ask him
He's at the
or her,
constituency
he's
doing
in the
work.
constituency. So how best can we curb this trend? Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
nzenno Simon Sewu nkulamusiza.
Nange munangani ono?
Anthony
Yes, sir.
amagezi nze ge nandiwaddewo embeera erabise nti abantu tebalondebwa kati omuntu bw'aba talondeddwa Simon omusuubira kukola ki agendayo ekyo tukizza ebbali ekyokubiri balina emirimu mingi ye MP ye minisita Dani banaakola ddi emirimu egyo nze nobadde nteesa ku nsonga eyo bw'aba MP sewabeere MP tetumulonda kuba minisita.
All right.
Okay.
friends,
Webale nnyo, webale nnyo.
olw'emirimu mingi babiviirako ddala.
Yeah, and but again, it also takes us back to the definition of honorable. I think
That's something that I've gotten. I don't know. Like it's something when it well. When,
I
when-
think
when
dodging sessions is dishonorable and unparliamentary, you know, and detrimental to the state. Because, you know, you a cheat. You're not supposed to be an honorable MP. If you go sign the register, then walk away.
the question of how honorable.
That's cheating. That's thuggery.
The question of how honorable are our honorable MPs
Also arises.
has turned out to be a rhetoric question to the ring.
No, sincerely, how does an MP come, he or she signs, and then walks away?
Yeah, now Najib Kakindamale
Remember,
says
just a second. Remember, there's a time when Honorable Dongoto wrote a book. It was very stinging when it attacked some of the MPs who attend workshops just to earn 100 per diem, 100,000. Yeah, they
But-
go attend workshops,
but if they've been described as businessmen, then
so they are into this for survival.
yeah. Now that again takes us to what the caller say that abamu tebalondebwa kati simanyiwa tebakulonze ate ogenda kiikirira n'ataakulonda.
It's quite detrimental to the state, because look at it this way: you would think that the one arm of government, the second arm of government, is active.
Yeah, but it's also
When
going
you're only seeing 20 plus.
yeah, it should
MPs
also
in the
take
House.
us back to the campaigns themselves, Simon. I think it's high time we bench down on issues, discussing real issues, policies that are going to see the country taken to another level. Let's start away with the petty things that get to see some members of parliament get into parliament.
Yeah.
Now, the
Some of them
electorate-
were elected because they're good dancers, because they had beautiful posters,
because
they dished out money,
yeah.
because they promised them roads, not legislation.
Yes, and now I think the electorate should be conscious of what exactly is carried in their manifestos while
I
campaigning.
think it's time for civic education now.
Indeed.
Civic education should come in so that we can reverse this trend by kicking them out. Whoever did not attend should be kicked out.
Now, Najib Kakindamale says we elect businessmen and women for legislators. They bribe us with petty material things, and we give them our votes in return. They sell their property, so they have to cover these gaps. That's not time for parliament. Please let's vote for committed members, but not because they are rich. Yeah, so I think again it takes us back to the electorate, because Simon, we are the people who lead them to parliament.
So it's about having integrity. This is an integrity question.
Yeah, and it cuts
because
across.
if for instance MPX dodged a session, he should not pick money for it. He should not. They should have integrity.
Yeah, and I think this is also another high level of indiscipline for one to sign
And then you just
and then
walk
you
away.
just walk out and do your own thing.
Mugonya John Basajja Subi, MPs are just any other government workers. Whether they go to work or not, they are sure of their full salary. The salary is not in any way affected by the quality and magnitude of work as it is in the private sector. If there is any way MP's salary can be dependent on their contributions to the House, then it is the way to go. I think we should pay them by assessment. Yeah. You can't pay Segona the same amount of money you pay to an MP who's not even spoken or blinked in a whole year. Yeah. It takes, it takes a lot of effort for these guys to do their research. They come and present it on the floor of Parliament. But others are just eating mandas.
And you're presenting
you see them stuffing themselves on mandas and tea.
And you're presenting it to an empty house.
I'm sorry, I'm being a little abrasive here, but I can't help it. You see MPs eating away, growing fat, without making any contribution. That's outrageous. So Bianca, Jackie, they should resign and we vote for other people. After doing nothing, they will claim for their salaries.
Yeah, that was my point, Simon, because if they came out and say that, well, we've been demoralized by the fact that we debate certain bills and they're never passed.
Timothy says, Timothy Nkalubo, tonenya muntu yabayita idiots. Well, Samuel, just like football, there is match fixing. There too in Parliament, MPs also do bill fixing. All right.
I'm still contemplating about Timothy's. Sometimes you're branded what you really put yourself to be.
What you portray yourself
as. So as the MPs get to argue and debate about having been not respected, or it takes us back to the issue of separation of powers. Have you really given the other person any reasons to believe
to believe that
you can do something, you're worth his time and you're worth him listening into whatever bills you're debating?
So the best stripe? Idiots. Good morning. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, somebody. Good morning, Breeze.
Again, I recommend Mr. Simon.
Karibu nafani ono?
In the toilet command eye kino ekintu kyangunge bannange Simon ebintu byemepikawe kati abapalamenti baba bakola bateewo ekintu mu lulimi olutuufu tetuyita performance appraisal nti oli bamugeraageranya entula zaatudde n'engeri gy'abatajja mu palamenti bwe kitawera kyebadde baagala baddamu kwesimbawo oyo bamuggyemu kuba atabatali siriyasi.
Actually, there is a civil society organization. Should I call it I think it's civil society. It's called African Leadership Institute. Yeah, they normally do appraisals on these MPs. And each time a report comes out, you hear them reacting angrily towards their grades. They say these are just doctored figures. There's someone out there to malign them, blah, 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 blah. But it's a reflection on their activity.
Yeah, and besides, Simon, I'm looking at the penalties and whatever suggestions that we've had, but it feels like that it would be more or less forcing these MPs to go for disciplinary sessions. And the question is, should they be forced? They begged for these votes because they felt they
needed to represent.
Now, why are they again waiting to be forced to do?
So should we start hustling with them, or they should be fired? I think we should readjust the legislation.
Because for all I know, Simon, for one to represent a constituency, they beg for these votes. They go out and campaign. They show their interest. No one comes and pins on Simon or pins on Doreen that, hey, you need to represent us. So it means that by the time you get into the house, you know why you're there and you have all the reasons.
I think we need a new breed. Mukalazi Joseph, there's no rule of law in our country. Even when they discuss issues, it's only one person who makes final decisions. It's all a waste of time and money. Let's not forget history. The late Dr. Samson Chiseka wrote that they used to spend time discussing something and the end comes in late and just reverses everything. Back all.
Onyuk Andrew says, for want of a better word, you call it parliament, but for me, I think it fits for a commercial theatre, comedians, or a business temple. Voters sold their votes to them for subsistence that day and are eagerly waiting for the next trading season. Why would it jump and become news when they don't attend parliament, the abnormal profit industry, but not news when they don't attend to their electorates? And you're going to see how active they will become 2016.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Let's hear from you.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yes, mweba letuweleza.
Karibu nafu.
Uwekiri mfumwezi na atigira nakawa.
tutunuulira ekyababaka okwepena entuula za paalamenti.
Ekisookera ddala ekyababaka okwetamba entuula za paalamenti njagatukize nti ababaka abamu waliwo ensonga eziba zigenda oteesebwako nga tebanjagadde kuzikola kikuzenyigira mulwekyo ziransabye nti paalamenti batekengawo enkola nti singa baba bamaliriza empisa zaabwe babeere nga niwe bajiiki tokusooka nti omubaka atuuka asinyinde amalumala okusaininga ngaafuna gyalaga n'olwekyo ababaka ne basigala nga basiganya mu mbeera eyo olwekyo nze mbadde kufundikira nga ngamba nti enkola ejja kukola bulungi nti omuntu bwe lwamaliriza miitingi n'asaininga kijja kuba kireebeesa bali abantu badde basuubira okukola ki okwekulankanya oba okufuna mukuba amala ge bakola ki ge balaga mu wiiki likumwesiga okugenda kawa.
All right, should they be paid per sitting?
No, that's again more. Okay, they'll sit.
It's a radical measure.
Yeah, it's radical.
Yeah,
and
but okay. At least let them pile themselves in there. They sit, and at the end of the day,
they wait for their payment.
Yeah,
and they won't discuss issues because they do not have the love for that sitting itself.
No, that will take us to another debate. Let them come and sit, because most of them remember at one time President Museveni said that even if you elect a sleepy MPs, rather a sleepy MP, if he can only wake up
and tick.
Yeah, Kastana Zuka kunsonga zaffe n'alonda kati wakiri kati wafune bajje
oyogedde nga MP agenda ofunamu kati nzijogedde nga Doreen eyalonda nze mba nfuniramu nze ng'omulonzi ngenda kukaka Simon
wakiri abaddeyo
nga talina kyakozeeyo
wakiri abaddeyo mu mugobo olw'obutateesa
Simon, these MPs boycott these sessions because to them they have better things to do. Maybe they have things to do in their constituencies.
Kiki ekimbeeza mu luzungu lwesiyogere.
So
tukkiriza ababaka bano boogere mu nnimi zaabwe.
Oletedde ate ekirala ate Simon ne campaigns ate tubeere conscious of lulimi ki lwe bakozesa nga bali mu campaign.
Okampainingira mu Luganda ogenda oyogera oluzungu.
Bw'oba okampaininga mu Luganda twala Oluganda l'omu parliament.
So my imagination is let them maybe if we've stooped that low tubaleke buli mubaka ayogere mu lulimi lwe olukakwa olugubara oluki
ekiruka saba nga ayogedde
speaker anabifuna
bafune
interpreter maybe kyekigana ababaka okwogera. You know, we are trying to diagnose the problem.
Yeah, but Simon bwakiri bandizze ne batula ne basirika nga mwebali naye tebatawanye na kuyingira kutuula kulaba ki ekigenda mu maaso.
Naye bagambe
constitution yaffe eri mu lulimi ekyo
naye njagala obagambe njagala obagambe buli omu mu kapigeon hall ke osulemu akabaluwa nti tulinayo workshop buli anajja ajja kusayiningira emitwalo 10.
anti awo kinzizayo kuomu kuffe
you realize a huge
kinzizayo ku one of our viewers said that well we elected business people. It's business.
Okay, still taking more of your views. How best can we reverse the trend of absenteeism of our legislators in parliament? Hello, good morning.
Aba
Yes sir.
mukyali
Wetuli
Doreen ng'aseka malizegawane ekibimu
twebuuza ababaka bano abeepena entuula tubakoledde ki?
Ismail yanganira ddala okuseka ku Shane. Ismail tubakoledde ki ababaka bano?
Ekisooka mwana mulenzi asise nene wakitojja bakuzaala wa Simon
Sebo ndi Mbusiro South.
ntandika okufunya
Ebyo tunaabitandikako edda ebyo bireke.
ngenda kunoonya binansangayo buli abaka basooka tebamanyi luzungu epointi esinga buli wano ate bakusobera bwe bajja mu constituency kyova nti oluganda kya bugagga nnyo boogera luganda n'atali muganda ate batuuka mu palamenti ne basirika buli bateeka buli mubaka yenna ayogere mu lulimi lwe buli nga boolina sente ebitaliimu sipiika bamuddiremu oli ayogere lwennyininyini olwo n'ebino byonna byebutuzakola tutya nga tebogedde emiri waabwe bakyalira kati olabye bifulimidde mu mpapula z'amawulire nga balinganga 15 ate bwobwe kitaba bwe kityo oba paalamenti eveewo wano ku Amin teyalina paalamenti naye twakola buli kimu twalina ennyonyi 25 twale ka UTC mitwalo 2 n'ekitundu ndoza bwe bakutte obwafrika revenue bwe yatutte eri babukyusa kkala twalina buli kimu kyonna twalina enguudo nga zitemagana ng'omuntu buli twalina the best schools.
Oh, sorry, lost you. He's mourning the past, but unfortunately, well, maybe he had.
Yeah, but Simon, when you get ready to look at the population then and the population now, it's totally different. So.
Yeah, but you should also look at the attendance in 2011 and 2012, vis-a-vis the attendance in 2013.
It's complex.
So the number keeps dropping.
That's when
at one moment the speaker might be held in a very tight spot when she has only 3 legislators in the house.
Yeah, I think
when 300 of them have already signed, but she has 3 of them sitting for the proceedings. Because you look at a house, it's virtually empty.
Yeah.
This is an empty house.
Yeah, but
and someone should be answerable for this.
Yeah.
Maybe we are looking at a speaker who is a bit laxed, who takes a casual approach. Yeah.
Yeah, but Simon, before they get to tighten their guns, the MPs who shun or boycott these sessions, I think we should also try to find out why exactly are they shunning the plenary sessions.
We get back to our viewers. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, and Simon.
Good morning.
This is Dr. Coyne from Rakai.
Yes.
This is the only problem we have with this legislation. And the legislator is really, to talk the truth, it is their head, the speak, as you see, shall be contradicting the message, maybe she always calls in a situation when she has no option, but as a leader, you should be responsible. You see, arabenga agenda n'agamba paaka kati kusooka weetegereza omubaka atuddenga mu paaka mu kakiiko nga akola emirimu gye ku dakiika emu n'obugamba nti gwe yimirira ate ddamu kugamba era nga sipiika palamenti agifudde kyakuzanyisa enyambeeru kati osobodde omubaka okufuna amaanyi bwe weeyagala ebibyo nti mafuta mujje mutuule anajja tojja kujja kubanga naye ensonga zibabadde ayagala jjukira bajja baakomaawo okuva mu liseesi baakomaawo nga waliwo ensonga zabe ze baagala zijjetoogerweko ngaokubavuma okuva kwa mubaka munnaabwe baagaana okugamba ekintu bakitambira ddala kati lwaki nabo oleeta ensonga obedde babalina kugaana ekyo kireebwa n'omwana omuto.
Okay,
so should you assume that they've been demoralized?
Maybe, but I also got an idea. Maybe we should reinstate constituency development fee fund. Do you know why? We ensure that MPs have regular interaction with the electorate. So civil society should embark on empowering the electorate, the constituents,
but
so that once an MP goes to his area, he's put to task on attendance, and 2, once he reports back to Parliament, there should be video evidence that on such and such a date I went to such and such a constituency, and there should be someone monitoring them and evaluating them.
How is the electorate going to account them to hold them accountable if they claim to be in their constituents at a time when they should be in Parliament? That's one. And 2, if like one of the contributors here say that maybe they've been demoralized because when they sit in Parliament to debate on certain bills,
they turn into jokers.
So
because their powers have been virtually clipped.
Yes, they would rather with their constituents, interact with their constituents, and get to be a man.
And again, they're not in the constituency.
Now the question is, as they claim to be in their constituencies, are they really in their constituencies? And if yes, is that the best option?
Hello, good morning, caller.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Uramusiza taata.
Nange sir.
Akati nze kyenandigambye.
Amanya ne gy'osinzidde.
Amanya ganze Kibule Faruku. Naye nze kyenandigambye. Ndabanga ebintu byonna bifaanagana. Kubanga Parliament
eringa fesi y'omuntu bwebanga erabika bubi era n'omuntu munda aba ali bubi kati kitwaliddana mu basomesa mu basomesa yonna bebati batuuka ku mirimu bambulamu ekkooti ne bateeka mu ofiisi za gavumenti byonna weebiti kati paliamenti esookerako ddala bwebanga ekifaananyi kyotulazaawo bwetyo bwefaanana uganda tuli bubi kimu bwekityo kitambula.
That's a good observation. It's cutting across. Civil society, rather public service, is all rotten. Yeah, and this is a reflection of the rot. Yeah, and the following day, cabinet. We don't know what happens in cabinet, but I believe there are also sleeping sessions.
Yeah, and
when some ministers.
Yeah, and that's where I'll come in and say that, well, if the issue as to why there is that bit of complacency setting in, if that issue is not addressed, Simon, then even the next parliament after the next parliament, could be plagued by the same problem. So we need to discuss that to address that issue from the root cause of the problem.
Kagwa John, as long as the current government is still in power, parliament will always be like that. Remember the previous parliaments, right from the time this government came to power. Mukaya Ashraf abantu bakowe ramande badete mwewunya. Philip OK, signing and not attending is like sleeping in the hall, making the electorates not to air their views, get knows, and they may have gotten a bribe for not passing a hidden agenda. Okay. Elvis Chintunsonyi, we can raise the numbers once MPs are paid per session attended. I'd also praise that it is accordingly implemented to the level of debate, but the former to be implemented first.
Patrick Okanya says, they say they are fighting corruption. Isn't this corruption? Black Monday activists set up with all those who signed and went away. We should know that we have wealth seekers and not problem solvers. Last time they were yearning for recall of the house. Now that it's normally back, they out dodging, no allowance for them.
I think they should be exposed. They should be exposed. This is a moment when the speaker should take another step.
Patrick says that last time they were recording for the house to sit, and now that the house is on, they are
nowhere to be seen. We take another caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
You're live on the morning, please. Kalisim.
Yes, sir.
Nze nno bamema ba palamenti abo enkola gye bakolamu kintuufu ate baalonga mirimu tebajja kulumirirwa muntu wa wansi kale weewuunya oli bwajja n'asayininga butayininzi ye olunaku lwe ne luyingira n'amala n'akola ki n'agenda ze baleesa gavumenti nti tuveeyo ne ssente zennyini ze bafuna nnyingi ze zibawaga tusaleko ku ssente tufune abantu abasobola okulumirirwa eggwanga nga tebagenze lwakukola ssente naye bano abaliyo bapakasi naye bale kutuweereza.
Okay, I'm not inciting, but I would subscribe to the view that this would call for civic action. Yeah.
Now I think
you show, as the electorate, you should show your MP that we are fed up of you.
Simon, before you get to blame the MPs, I think the electorate should also be held accountable.
Yeah,
what do you consider when voting for that person you are claiming is representing in parliament?
And apparently, like was it Gasho? Someone was recently saying that every MP looks like his constituency. If you're from Rubaga North,
you look.
Kasevante looks like the constituency.
The dwellers of Rubaga
if you're
North.
from Kalungu, if you're from Masaka, every MP is a mirror of his constituency.
That's an interesting one, because as you mentioned, some MPs, I'm already trying to imagine some of their constituencies. Yeah, but regardless, Simon, you should realize that yes, if there is a problem in parliament, then it starts with us who vote them in parliament.
All right.
Yeah.
Chikonyogo John, a country gets leaders they deserve. None of these MPs elected himself alone. They were elected by non-serious Ugandans. NRM has demystified from guns to now parliament. Moderators, let's start campaign to force this parliament to pay their Mama Mbabazi man the 13 billion. Bebatakulu Musajja PM, let them pay for their salaries and not from taxpayers' money. Morality was thrown out of the window in Uganda. Anike Mike Stanley, if one's ambition exceeds ability or ability exceeds ambition, the likelihood of success is limited. These MPs were eager and ambitious to rule, thinking things were easy, but now they're frustrated and have turned into puppet leaders in the country.
Now, Kasozi Umar says, what should they do? bye bateesezza tebikolebwako mubaleke beebake ndaba bateesa ekyankwanzi nawe. Najib Kakinamale says, what do you expect from a house full of idiots and fools? Farida says surveillance cameras should be put at the entrance and exit and timing of these sessions. What do you expect? Why would you expect the speaker and clerk to get an interpreter? That would be a waste of time.
Okay, so how do we stamp out absenteeism among parliamentarians? That's the question we're asking this morning. And what could be the cause of this? Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good morning. How are you? Karisim.
Kakati nzeyamukalamu yanagiri
Yes, sir.
ati wali omugambe nti buli mwatanda constituency edatike ekino Kampala abalimi bebatandika omulimu gwabwe gwekalakasa abamire mupira manyi gwekalakasa ebyo omulimu gwabwe naye ate ebintu byokweraga ebyo bisinza okuleeta obuzibu nti palamenti ennaku zino yakweraga kaine yaliwa nti nyine mukanziko Solomon era kinayamba ebintu byatuuka ku nsonga ez'okutesi z'eggwanga tebalabisa egatte emegeri mu nyanja mubuulire abantu biki palamenti byabadde ngenda okuteesa abo babyeteesaabo kati naye waliwo newaffe ejjinja babuuza NP bekyakutwaza nabenda yakutwala nebaloganda eggwanga banendeke nebajja ku mativi yago nabalabanga kati byawe yabalungi ebyemu byokka tebamanyi kulonda bona obuzibu bwabulimbuka etubadde esabbuuni kati abasajja abweraba naye besasula etebakinoonyerezaako bamanyi kwesasula zezo business trips zowulira emu NP newaffe yagamba agira emyaka egi etaano bigimbala kateganamanyi nepiyonyere nemugambo gera kukitigana myaka etaano gyokka ekyenenya kumanyibwa nafuna passport manyanaaa tebali passport as simple as that zebintu aba naye abalenzi balina okubiga kikibalenda nekaaiza na TV kati gye okugekiyeri katiyinza ku TV era the problem gyetulina kaba teyeminya kikyalibalenzi leero bazze kutuula obatuula kasebalaba ku TV kyebagala ebitali kubalaba ku TV tebyagala kati agenda kuteeka ku bisiyaga tayagala nikyayagala gabeeda afudde mugane kutya
Sama webale nnyo webalire ddala.
You'd also, I think, I don't know if it's blowing it out of proportion, but you would conclude that maybe Uganda's problems stem from the arms of government that we don't have.
Besides, when you analyze all the different comments that have come in from our viewers, you'd imagine people have given up. There's this sense of despair amongst the population. They're looking now at MPs, and no wonder these MPs do not attend because they signed a pact with the electorate. Once an MP gives you 5,000 shillings for a vote or 1,000 shillings for the vote,
and is that what we need for a country?
That tells you that stakeholders in civic education ought to up their job. Yeah, and two, the citizenry ought to be alert. Yeah, there's need for more action so that if it ever happens to one MP, he goes to the constituency and then the public maybe turns against him.
So we need
they tell him off.
We need more sensitization. And the question is the citizenry even aware that they are not represented in parliament?
No, because most of them are not aware because they don't even bother to know what their MPs do.
So the problem
all they need is to wait for a moment when they lose a relative and then they will run to this MP and he will give them 20,000 as Mabugo. That's all.
So the problem again gets back to we, the electorate.
That's it. And on that note, we really thank you very much. Very interesting topic. It's been a very heated debate. And the debate continues on Facebook. You can keep contributing. Doreen will remain on set with the news bulletin. Good morning.